Writing a research proposal, it comes as a challenge for some of you, but for others, it appears to be very, very obvious. So, what do you exactly need to keep in mind while writing a research proposal so that it comes as something that's very, very natural for you? The first and the foremost thing is what actually is a research proposal. It's nothing but a concise, a brief summary of what and how you want to proceed in your research. How do you select what to research? And that's a separate video that we have covered on choosing a topic for a research proposal. The idea is whenever you are doing with a research, the foremost thing that you must be capable of is independent thought and critical analysis. So let's say I'm reading a lot of literature, I'm reading a lot of material. When I read and see what others have done so far, then at that point you are able to identify the research gaps, and that's the right time to think about your research proposal. So, as soon as you identify a research gap that, okay, this research is about the following things, but this is a point that is explicitly missing in the research, and this is something, if introduced into this research, could make this research much more lively, much more challenging. So, focusing on the unexplored areas of the research becomes very, very important. Obviously, when the first research was done, it was very, very simple because they had nothing to read prior to that. But as and when the mankind evolved, the civilizations evolved, we already have a whole lot of research. But still, you have a lot of things that are unexplored. If we talk about the simple Moore's law in computing, it's doubling the transistors in the ICs, the integrated circuits, every 2 years. So that means over the years from 1990s to 2010, let's say, we have seen a significant change or a remarkable change in the computing speed. And what is all that? Obviously, that is a research. So, writing a research proposal, first, you have to have a clear cut idea in your mind. What is your interest area? What are the unexplored areas, the research gaps in the existing studies that are there? Focus on a methodology. Never write a research proposal with the aim of getting a PhD or defending your synopsis or your thesis at the end. No, if you write with that limited goals, you won't be working with a good research. To work and proceed with a good research, it's very, very important that you have an in-depth idea of the concept and you are wholeheartedly into the subject, and consider this for a fact that whatever research you are doing now, you will take that topic and those research areas throughout your life. So that's something you have to devote your whole life with. So unless and until you get interest into it, you cannot secure good research outputs that could be seen. The better be good. So coursework is something that is essential, and it gives you a kind of formulation as to how you need to proceed with your further research studies and goals. Every research paper or a proposal requires rounds of editing. So once you write down whatever comes in your research, you have to revisit it once, twice, thrice in order to remove any kind of grammatical mistakes that are there, in order to remove any kind of errors that are there in terms of the contextual error as well as the grammatical errors. And then only you can have a sound and a solid research that is ready. In the next lectures, we will be talking about choosing a research, how to face your interviews, and so on. Have a wonderful evening.